Hello, and thank you for visiting us today. Let's head upstairs to explore the second floor. You're joining me in the staircase hall, an open space at the top of the stairs from which you can access the home's private spaces, the guest wing, owner's suite, and servants' quarters. You may have already noticed that the second floor has a different aesthetic than the first. It's quite a bit brighter up here, thanks in part to lighter, neutral-toned wallpaper and paint, which creates a very different atmosphere than the dark wood paneling on the first floor. The second floor also gets much more natural light thanks to the 7 skylights, the largest of which, made of Tiffany glass, is right above our heads. As you might imagine, this beautiful decorative glass would have been quite expensive to install, and this feature is uniquely designed to protect the plant's investment. This glass is actually resting in the floor of the attic, completely protected from the elements, with a second skylight in the roof through which the sunlight streams to diffuse into this space. The result, as you can see, is absolutely lovely. From the staircase hall, you can also access one of the home's outdoor living spaces, a pleasant covered balcony with views of the Ossipee Mountains. The 7 peaks seen here were once owned by Tom and Olive Plant. The Lucknow estate spanned from these peaks all the way to the shore of Lake Winnipesaukee. This balcony also provides a good view of the home's complex system of roof timbers and tiles. The tiles are all handmade of terracotta, and each timber features scalloping to accentuate the rustic and handcrafted appearance of the home. Let's make our way to the guest wing next, where the plant's overnight visitors stayed. This octagon-shaped guest room is called the Brown Room on the home's interphone system. Between 2023 and 2024, this room was restored to its original appearance based on traces of original finishes uncovered during the research phase. The paint and wood stain match samples of the original colors, and the wallpaper was digitally reproduced from scraps of paper discovered behind the interphone panel in this room. In addition to the scenic views and a designated guest bath, overnight visitors staying in this space had a built-in closet and use of a small balcony to enjoy the fresh air. Guests at Lucknow enjoyed a variety of outdoor activities like horseback riding, shooting, fishing, golf, tennis, and rides to the summit of the nearby mountains. They may have even been invited for a ride in Tom Plant's prized boat, the Keen Cutter, on Lake Winnipesaukee. Each of the 2 guest rooms on this floor had access to a private bathroom. The smaller bath, which serves the Brown Room, was originally a trunk room according to floor plans from the late 19-teens and early 1920s. A trunk room was a storage area for guests' luggage. We don't know exactly when the space was updated, but it seems to have happened during the plant's occupation. All of the tiles and fixtures match the rest of the bathrooms in the mansion. The larger bathroom originally served both guest rooms. Here we see guests had access to the same amenities as the plants: a flush toilet, pedestal sink, tub, and needle shower. The green room, the largest of Lucknow's guest rooms, was likely enjoyed by close friends and family of Mr. and Mrs. Plant. Photographer George Perry, who documented the estate for an article in Country Life magazine in 1917, noted in one of his photograph albums that he stayed in this guest room while working for Mr. Plant. During the restoration of this room, we did not find any evidence of the original wallpaper, but we did find traces of green paint, which we were able to match. The wallpaper and new green carpet, although not original, are done in styles and colors appropriate for the era and Mr. and Mrs. Plant's decor preferences. The furniture in this room is not original to the Lucknow estate, but features many design elements evident in the bedroom suites that were purchased by Mr. and Mrs. Plant for this home. This unusual little room is called the attendant's room. It has been interpreted in a variety of ways in the past, and we are still not certain exactly how it was used. It may have been a sewing room, a place for Olive to meet and confer with her domestic staff, or possibly a small bedroom for the servant of one of Lucknow's overnight guests. As no scraps of original wallpaper were uncovered in this space during restoration, this lovely wall covering was chosen to imitate vibrant patterns found in servant spaces elsewhere in the home. We're now entering Olive's boudoir, which is the beginning of the owner's suite. In this room, with its lovely view and romantic balcony, Mrs. Plant might have enjoyed her breakfast, conducted correspondence, or served afternoon tea for a visiting friend. The room has pocket doors, so Olive would have had complete privacy here. The chaise, desk, and chair in this room were crafted by the Toby Furniture Company of Chicago. These original furnishings were generously returned to Lucknow by the Toby family, no relation to the furniture company, who occupied the estate during the 1940s and 1950s. The boudoir balcony faces scenic Lake Winnipesaukee and the Belknap Mountains. Beyond the lake, Gunstock Ski Area is the highest hill, and Laconia lies straight ahead. Next to Olive's boudoir, we find her dressing room. In addition to its mirrored closets, this space is well supplied with shallow drawers for the storage of carefully folded garments of all kinds. Olive's wardrobe undoubtedly contained special garments for golf, horseback riding, tennis, and other sports. One of the house's interphones is conveniently located next to Olive's dressing table. If Olive needed any assistance while dressing, she could have easily called for a servant. We don't know for sure who worked in this house, but it is possible that Olive may have had a lady's maid at some point. A servant in this role would have been responsible for attending the personal needs of her mistress, especially related to her appearance. A lady's maid might assist with clothing, hairdressing, and applying makeup, but may also be expected to mend garments, draw baths, or bring her mistress breakfast in her boudoir or bedroom. As we continue through the owner's suite, we reach the owner's bedroom, which was shared by Tom and Olive Plant. The wallpaper in this room is a reproduction of the original, scraps of which were found behind the interphone on the wall. The gray trim paint also matches a sample of the original found on the radiator panels. Although there are no known photographs of this room during the plant's occupancy, the carpet, curtains, and linens were chosen to mimic popular decorative choices of the period. This room originally had a small balcony facing the lake, which was likely destroyed during a hurricane in the 1930s. In 2019, a preservation crew replicated and installed the balcony we see here today using historic photographs as a guide. Located across the hall from the owner's bedroom and adjacent to the owner's bath, the owner's dressing room consists of a long hallway of closets. At the end of the hallway, you will find a set of pull-up rings belonging to Tom Plant, who was known to be a fitness enthusiast from a young age. This bathroom, which is part of the owner's suite, is fitted with 2 toilets in individual private rooms, 2 sinks, a deep tub, and a needle shower. The enclosed tub base and tile floor and walls seen here epitomize the early 20th century sanitary bathroom ideal. 2 of the second-floor bathrooms and the first-floor guest bedroom have needle showers like this one. In addition to having a shower head, each of the semicircular bars was punctured with small holes, through which the water would spray. The needle shower was intended to provide a massage for the internal organs, and was not recommended for a woman's use at the turn of the 20th century due to a woman's delicate constitutions. By the mid-teens and 1920s, however, this way of thinking was on the decline, and companies like J.L. Mott, who manufactured Lucknow's plumbing fixtures, were actively advertising all of their shower fixtures to women. Water from a spring-fed reservoir on a neighboring mountain was brought into the house through lead pipes to serve the plumbing system. The resulting water pressure may have reached 70 pounds, which meant that a needle shower would have been particularly invigorating. Just across the hall from the owner's chamber, we enter a simple corridor, which leads to the head of the back stairs and to 2 bedrooms and a bathroom once occupied by Lucknow's housemaids. Based on the sizes of the rooms, it is likely that 3 women would have shared this space, 1 in a private room, likely the head housekeeper, and 2 sharing the other, larger room. With their large windows and views of the lake and mountains, these rooms are much more pleasant than the stuffy attic chambers provided for servants in many similar houses at the time. Sections of the blue and white wallpaper in the corridor, which depicts stylized Japanese pine boughs, are original and now over 100 years old. As part of the ongoing restoration work of this home, badly damaged sections of this wallpaper were replaced with digital reproductions. The best preserved areas were kept intact for comparison. Our tour ends where we began, in the staircase hall. You may have noticed several lovely works of art as we toured the second floor. The pieces we have on display up here today were not owned by Tom and Olive Plant, but rather were recent donations to the Castle Preservation Society. We do, however, have a large portrait of Tom Plant himself. This is a digital reproduction of the original oil painting that once hung here. That portrait is owned today by the Plant Memorial Home, an elderly care facility Tom built and endowed in honor of his parents in his hometown of Bath, Maine. If you have any questions or would like to know more about something you saw on this tour, just look for one of our knowledgeable museum interpreters. They're always happy to answer. Thank you for joining me on this armchair tour of the second floor and for visiting us here at Castle in the Clouds.